Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back with another one. Back with another one. I hope everybody is enjoying the show right now. Please go and check out that Anthony Gumby Gums Sit Down, brother. A straight classic. The Godfather of street basketball here in New York City. A lot of history. Man, I'm getting so many texts and calls from people who are just not being introduced to Gumby, and it was a pleasure to sit down with them. But with saying that, welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a North Babylon High School legend, straight out of Long Island. That's right. He comes from a basketball family. His older brother, Derek, played at Syracuse University with our own Dwayne Pearl Washington. And his dad played basketball at Thomas Jefferson High School. Go figure, right? This basketball head dominated throughout his years in high school, scoring 50 points and 42 points on two different occasions. And he once averaged 31 points and 26 rebounds in a 3-game stretch. And his yearly average probably wasn't too far away from that anyway. So y'all hear about that later. After a legendary career at North Babylon, he took his talents to St. Bonaventure University, where he averaged 10 points and played a key role in their success throughout his years from 1990 to 1994. Hope I got those years right. I've worked with and played against this basketball head. So I'm telling you, he had a whole lot of game. And tonight, we get to hear his story. Now he resides in New Mexico as a sheriff and enjoys life with his family. So without further ado, help me welcome to the show, North Babylon High School legend and St. Bonaventure University standout, Jason Broward. Yes, sir.
Y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Jay, what up, man?
My man G, what's going on, man?
How you doing, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. You looking good, brother. You looking good at that New Mexico. It treat you nice out there, man. It treat you nice out there, brother.
Listen, it's different than New York. I'm gonna tell you that, but it's all right though.
Yeah. So we worked together at Monteporas, and you made the transition to move, out of the state and take on a whole nother career. How's that been for you up to this point?
It's been good. It's been good. It kind of started back. When me and you was at Monteporas, and then I left Monteporas in 2012, and I think it was 2012, and I was just trying to find what I was going to do next, and I got into law enforcement in 2016. So then I was working in New York City in law enforcement in New York City with warrants and gangs with the Department of Probation. And then I worked there until 2022, towards the end of 2022. And then I ended up relocating to New Mexico, where my dad resides in New Mexico. But originally we were looking to go to Florida. A friend of mine, he's a chief of police down in Florida, so we were looking to go down there. But mom and dad have a lot of health issues, and they've helped me my whole life, me and my brothers. So I was like, you know what? It's time that I return the favor and come down here and help them out. And came down here and got on with the sheriff's office, with the Sandoval County Sheriff's Office.
Man, that's dope, man. Look, brother, I know you've helped a whole lot of kids during your time in Martin Porres, and you continue that even in your job now of continues to help people, man. So congratulations to you, and you know, hats off to you for, you know, going down there and taking care of mom and dad, man.
Thank you.
No doubt. So we're gonna jump right into this, man, because tonight is your night, man. We're here to celebrate you, man, and all of your accomplishments that you know you have up to this point playing basketball. Who introduced you to the game?
Honestly, the one who really introduced me to the game was I'm gonna say it transitioned from everybody was into football back in the 80s.
That's a fact.
I want to say like the late 70s, early 80s, everybody's into football, and then it transitioned to basketball. But for me, what happened was Syracuse was recruiting my brother, and my brother had went to the Big East to watch Syracuse, and they was playing Georgetown. And shout out to Gene Smith, who I was watching a podcast that you interviewed him, and I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm looking at this point guard from Syracuse. Didn't know who he was at the time, and he came down, and it was Pearl.
Yeah,
Pearl had that signature in his left hand when he stutter step, and he went in and out. And I was sitting there watching, and the dude Gene was on. Next, you know, I'm like, where did the defender go? And I see he's in the, no disrespect to him, I see he's laying with the cheerleaders. Right. Yeah, Pearl hit him. Pearl had that crazy in and out, and hit him. And I was like, yo, who is this dude? And from that moment on, from watching the Big East tournament, that's when I was like, you know what? I wanted to get into basketball. And I started going to the backyard. We had a hoop in the backyard, and that kind of got the fire going watching Pearl. Then he's been my favorite player. You know, may he rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? And it was just me trying to emulate, you know what I'm saying, that in and out with the left hand. And you know, I had the opportunity to meet him when my brother ended up going to Syracuse, and he was such a gracious guy. You know what I'm saying? He was just so humble and everything. And just to fast forward, I was with Pearl prior to him passing away. He ended up attending my church.
Wow.
In Harlem. He ended up coming to the church, and we reconnected, and just, you know, it was just almost like, honestly, G, it was like a young kid seeing Michael Jordan. That's who Pearl, at least
he was like that for us. Yes.
That's who Pearl was for me, was like the Michael Jordan. And you know, I remember they was telling me when he was living, he couldn't even live on campus in Syracuse because he was, you know what I'm saying,
that popular.
He had to live off campus and stuff like that. And so in a nutshell, my brothers, but it was him who really gave me that spark to want to play ball.
And it's crazy. And this is why we do shows like this, right? Because if you ask a young kid today, they have no idea who Pearl Washington is, right? And hopefully when they're looking at their game that's on my channel or their interview, they'll bump into stories like this, right? So they can put it all together and even bump into guys like yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, how was it like growing up in Long Island during the time you grew up, and who were some of the guys in your community that you had the opportunity to see firsthand, right, live in the flesh, that was balling out in Long Island during the time you was coming up?
Well, for me coming up, I honestly want to say it was put it like this, G. Basketball now, and in our era, basketball was heavy. Like, you would go from park to park to play, from sun up to sundown. Now you don't have that with the youth today and stuff like that, which is kind of sad. But growing up in Long Island, and people don't realize I have a middle brother. I have a middle brother who played at Andrew Jackson, played with Lloyd Daniels, played with John Barry.
He was on that team?
He was on the team with Lloyd Daniels, John Barry.
I seen that team play, bro.
Yeah, and then yeah, he was on the team, and I think what it was, my brother Chris was kind of overshadowed because he played JUCO out in Kansas. So a lot of times people just think it's just me and Derek. Well,
Right. I didn't know you had a middle brother.
yeah, we have a middle brother. And so yeah, so Chris, my father ended up sending him out to Queens, and he went to Jackson and stuff like that, played out there. But there was a lot of people, Kyle Ivy Jones, Andre Samuels, who both went to Rhode Island. There's one guy, I would honestly say this guy to me is probably the best player to ever come out along. His name was Bobby Brown. This guy had to be
Really?
yeah, this guy, honestly, G, from basketball to football, he in my opinion,
Right.
as far as all of Long Island, like this dude, he was. Remember when they used to have the City versus Long Island National Coliseum?
Yeah.
Like he was probably the first high school play I see when they was running up asking for autographs.
Wow.
That's how nice Bob was in basketball and football. Bob was he was like your Bo Jackson on basketball and football and stuff like that. But growing up, it was funny because right up the block from me, LL Cool J lived right up the block from me. We, him and my brother Chris, they were kind of rivals in football, and Tar was nice in football. I played against Keith Murray. Me and Keith Murray.
So hold on, time out. Hold on, I gotta blow the whistle on this. So I'm doing my research, and I'm looking through the articles, and I'm saying to myself, Keith Murray, Central Islip. I only know one Keith Murray that's in Central Islip, and that's the rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who you knew as a ball player back then.
Yeah.
Was he? Because I saw you. I think was that the game you had 50?
Yeah, I had
40.
50.
You had 50. He had like 12, but
rebounds.
I think he led his team with 12.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, he was on the court.
Yeah. So the first time I met Keith, we was playing at CI, and it was just competitive. You know what I'm saying? The fans, you play away, fans talking trash and stuff like that, and I was just doing what I got to do and stuff like that. And at the end of the game, it was just respect not only from the players but from the fans when they respect guys who could ball and could hoop and stuff like that. So it was nothing of when people take it to heart. And then so fast forward.
No, hold on. Time out, bro. Because you making it seem like this is just like normal, fam. This is not normal what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck. 50 points. I don't care where you did it at. 50 points, 31 rebounds is crazy. Hold on, let me put this up, bro, because you acting like this is normal, like anybody could do this. Hold on. Like, this is crazy, bro. 50 points, 31 rebounds.
Yeah, that was the second time. So they came and played at our school, and they brought their fans with them, and they was talking smack. I was like, all right. I said, I got something for you guys. Keep talking. And so I was just lining them up and just laughing at Keith and stuff like that. And when I would see Keith afterwards, when Keith became Keith Murray and stuff like that. Keith has always been a down-to-earth cool guy and stuff like that. Him, Eric Sherman, Parrish, Rakim. I played on Rakim. He grew up not too far from me. Him and his mom and my mom worked together, and there was a tournament they had at Baisley Park. It was like Supreme versus Paid in Full, and I played with the Paid in Full team with Eric B and Rakim. Eric B was a coach, and I can say it now because I'm not in college anymore. So I was playing in a game that wasn't sanctioned. You know how.
Oh yeah, I know. We all did at some point, bro. We all did. We just, a lot of us didn't get caught. That's what it was.
What's crazy, I got caught because I got back to college. My coach called me in the office. He was like, so I heard you was playing. I was like, what? Because I went in as an alias name. I didn't use my name. I was like, no, who told you? Somebody called and told on me. I was like, no, that wasn't me. But, it was me, but.
It wasn't me, right? You get like Sean Paul, right? It wasn't me, that right?
Yeah.
Nah. Do you remember the first game you played under the whistle? Like, what was that first game? Do you remember that first game that you played? Like, when
the first game I played under the whistle was probably in Dix Hills, in Long Island. It's a very well-to-do area.
Yeah.
All right. Danny Green, my peoples, he lives over there. His dad, they live over there. And it was the first time I played under the whistle. And I was like, okay, this is something I think I'm good at, And it
How
just
tall were you back then, Jay?
I want to say I was taller than the average person, if you will, as far as my age. So in high school, I graduated when I was about like 6'4", 6'5" when I graduated. I was 6'7" in college. Hit my growth, stopped growing about 6'5". I mean 6'7" in college. But
Wow.
I was kind of tall, but I played the guard, and sometimes I played down low, But for the most part, I was a shooter. I was known for being a shooter, if
Right.
anything.
So, you know, dad played high school ball, your brother played big time college ball, and now you coming up next. Was there any pressure? Did you feel like any pressure was put on you? And then, you say you got a middle brother as well that played ball. Was there any pressure put on you to like
Yeah,
supersede what they did that came before you?
yeah. No, it was definitely pressure because I remember when I would go out there and go in the backyard and hoop out. And I remember prior to that, in junior high school, they didn't have a 7th grade team, so I went to the 9th grade team. But I was told the only reason why you're on this team is because of your brother.
Wow.
Yeah, it was told straight out, flat out to me. The only reason why you're on this team is because of your brother. And I remember one game, and this is what really sparked it. One game we played, we didn't play this one game that we was playing. The game was over. They had a 5th quarter. At the time, I didn't know about 5th quarters. That was scrub time because there really was no 5th. It was people who didn't, what I'm saying, who didn't
Right.
get off the bench. So I get home, I get off the bus, I get home, and my dad, my brother's there at the table. Oh, so how'd it go? I wanted to give you one. How'd you play? I was like, all right. I said, well, I got in the 5th quarter. They just started laughing at me. Like just busted out laughing at me. I'm sitting there, and then once I figured out why they was laughing, I had said to myself, like, okay, I said, you guys will never laugh at me again. And that really, really sparked the fire as far as from sun up to sundown, being in the backyard, working on my craft, and in the front yard. I remember when Lefty Drizel, who else? The coach at the time for Michigan State, Judd Heathcote,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Boeheim, was coming to recruit my brother at the house, and they was like, we figured this is the house because we see the young men out here with the basketball. And I was just working on my craft. I'm like, y'all would never laugh at me again as far as my brothers and stuff like that. And then the following year, 7th, 8th grade team, I did my thing. And then the next year after that, the 9th grade coach was like, okay, we're ready for you. I was like, nah, they called me up to the high school. I'm like, yeah, you didn't want me before. You know what I'm saying? You don't need me now. So I just, yeah. So I just bypassed and went straight to high school. And from high school, from 10th grade was on varsity.
Wow. What was it like seeing those big time coaches coming to your home to recruit your brother? Was that another time where a fire was lit under you? Like, yo, that's gonna be me. Them coaches coming to see me when it's my turn.
No, of course. To see, you know what I'm saying? You've seen these coaches on TV and big time coaches, big time programs and stuff like that. I was like, that's what I was chasing. That's what I was definitely chasing. I was like, also to get out of the shadow. When I was able to get out of my brother's shadow, because you would hear, oh, that's Derek Brower's little brother. That's Derek Brower's little brother. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? My brother kind of paved the way, but once I was able to get out of the shadow and create my own lane, it started opening up opportunities for me.
Right. Man, the numbers you was putting up, oh yeah, you definitely had your own shadow, brother. Definitely had your own shadow. What was that transition like once you got to high school and you started to apply yourself in 10th grade? And when can you say was like that moment when you started to come into your own?
I could tell you the game, right? So I was playing a game prior. I forgot something happened and I got suspended. The coach suspended me. And he was like, "You're not going to play." I forgot what I think me and him got into an argument, right? You can sit on the bench. I'm like, all right, the Big East tournament is coming around, right? And so they're playing. I forgot. I think Syracuse was playing maybe St. John's the night before, something like that. So I'm sitting there. I'm sitting on the bench. Game start. Who walks in the gym? My dad walks in the gym. My brother walks in the gym. Stevie Thompson walks in the gym.
Whoa.
Coleman, Derek DC walked in the gym. Matt Rowe walked in the gym. So I'm sitting there, and Derek Coleman, DC sat behind me, and he was like, "Yo, what's going on, Jay?" I was like, so he said something to the coach. He was like, "Yo, you better put my nephew out there, right?" And when they walked in, because the gym was already packed, when they walked in, and we was losing, and when they walked in, I guess the pressure from them being in the coach next to him, he called me. He was like, "You know, you're not supposed to play." I was like, "I get in the game, 2 steals, caught my first 2 dunks. Just changed the momentum of the game and stuff like that."
That's right, boy. That's right. That's right. Let me in that game. Let me in that game. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then we end up winning, and yeah. So it was like, okay, you know, being a younger kid playing with older, as you know, in 10th grade, guys are older, a little bit stronger, stuff like that. But you know, it showed me, like, you know, I could play with the older guys.
Wow. Who was that team that y'all was playing against? You remember?
I want to say, because it was a playoff game, I want to say it might have been Bridgehampton
Playoff game 2?
or John John Glenn. It might have been John Glenn High School. But I remember it was a playoff, and they were winning, and then I think I dropped 16 or 18 right off the bench because I didn't play the first half and stuff like that. And it kind of like told my coach, like, you know, don't put me on the bench.
And yo, I got one. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you know how these coaches think like that. Okay, now we got one. Maybe that was the challenge that you needed.
Yeah.
So you can do what you need to do.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I want to say this to what really helped G was when my dad and brother used to tell me, stop playing in Long Island, get to the city.
That was my next question. I was gonna say.
Copy. Go ahead.
Wow, no, like you coming into the city made you into a better ball player. That's what you credit.
Yes.
Where did you play, and who were some of the people you played against?
So my first experience, I got on with Elmcore, Herman Turner, may he rest in peace. He was a coach, and my first ever played in the city game was at Lost Battalion Hall on Queens Boulevard.
Legendary
Walking there, and this is crazy coming from Long Island. You got a hoop, you got nets and stuff like that. You got fiberglass backboards and stuff. I walk in Lost Battalion, and it's kind of dark in there. There's no lines on the there's no lines on the court.
That's a fact.
Yeah, there's no lines on the court, and you're sitting there, and there's a game going on, but there's a side game, pickup game on the side, and it's like crossing over and stuff like that, playing. And I remember going to locker room to change up, and Herman Turner, he introduced you to the guys on the team. And at that time, it was a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, Conrad McCray.
Conrad, may he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
And Mr. Turner as well, yes.
Yes, and Turner, yes, Mr. Turner as well. And I remember Conrad turned to me. He was like, "Yo, you know the ball? You can hoop?" I was like, "I'm all right." And yeah, and I get out there. I want to say I dropped 40.
Ooh.
At 40, yeah, it was like playing with no nets, and it was like, okay, this is what it is. But it was a whole different level because it was a fast pace. You know, as soon as the bucket went in, dudes was hustling straight down, going down the other direction.
Yeah, city game is a lot faster. Yeah.
City game is a lot faster. Dudes are a lot more crafty
and gritty and grittier. Like and I say this. I had a all-star game, right? New York basketball had supremacy with Long Island, New York City, Westchester, and Albany last year, and we were sitting in. Well, I was kind of behind the bench, and you hear the Long Island coaches say, "Yo, one thing about the city kids, they tough, gritty, and that ball moves just like this." So even now, even from you talking about from back then, it's kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
Even though we know Long Island got ballers, but it's just a different style when you come to the city.
Exactly. And one of the things I learned too is the kids in Long Island, they know they first of all, it's not just shooting jump shots. They take it to the cup, and they know how to get to the cup, and they get to the cup aggressively.
Right,
You know,
right.
so it's being able to take that body contact and finish at the cup.
Mm.
You know, and that was one of the things I learned. And you know, playing with Derek Phelps, he was another good friend of mine. I played with at Encore, and then Chibs. I played with Chibs at Wheelchair Classic. I came out in '89, so '89 had a lot of heavy hitters in '89.
Yep,
Dave
yep.
was, may he
That's
rest
a
in peace.
fact. Yeah.
Dave was Khalid Reeves, Jamal Faulkner. I played against them, and we played in a tournament in St. Louis against Christ the King. I think Christ the King was like number 1 and number 2 in the country at the time.
Mm.
And we ended up playing them in a championship game, and D. Phelps was on me. I think I had 35, but they still ended up winning. They had 4 out of their 5 went to Carl Beckett was on the team.
Woo! Yeah, yeah, my God, Carl Becker, yes.
Carl Beckett, Jamal Faulkner, Khalid Reeves, Derek Phelps, and I forgot who the big man was in the middle. But if I'm not mistaken, all 5 of them all went big time. Arizona,
Listen,
North Carolina.
so many people I tell Jamal Faulkner, there's this kid named, no, his name is Musa. Can't pronounce his first name. I mean his last name, but he remind me so much of Jamal Faulkner.
Mm.
Like 6'8", 6'9", can handle, can shoot, crafty with the ball, could pass, rebound. And I was just like, people have no idea. Like, we seen this before.
Yeah.
You know? So I know when you see ball players, you're like, damn, I seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You name all the ball players that you played with and played against is kind of crazy.
Yeah, like Chips, like a point guard like him. You know what I'm saying? Watching him coming up and hearing about him and basketball back then. Remember Tom Chikowski?
No, come on, man.
Tom Chikowski.
Yeah.
Tom Chikowski pretty much gave you your name in basketball.
That's a fact.
He solidified whether or not, you know what I'm saying. If he signed off on it, then you know you was good. And when he used to talk to me, come to my games, and then, you know, he also would like, listen, get out to the city, play some more. There's a lot of heavy Kenny Anderson, Dave Edwards. Who else was out there?
Man,
a good friend of mine, Ephraim Whitehead.
Ephraim, yes. All my young guys, that's a fact. That's a fact.
He ended up going to Duquesne. We would play Duquesne because they was in Atlantic 10 Conference. It was so many back in '89 that in that graduating class. I thought it was probably one of the best classes to come out of high school.
Yeah. That 89, that 90 class, that 89, 90 class was definitely one of the top classes. I had that on my Instagram. We talked about, and there's a video on my channel that talks about that. Like, is 1990 the top class in New York City history? That year, I think we had 5 McDonald All-Americans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, which was crazy. And then another discussion we had, myself, my high school coach, Coach Ray Haskins, that coached at Alexander Hamilton, Long Island University, my guy Tiny Morton, and a few others. We had lunch and we were just discussing the best backcourt in New York City history. Man, if I send you this link, bro, there's so many comments on this thing. And I like to open up discussions like that because New York City has so many great backcourts, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's only one backcourt in New York City history that both of them made McDonald All-Americans and won the city and state championship, and that's Khalid Reeves and Derek Phelps.
Yeah. At
the same time.
Yeah.
Right. We had some others that made, you know, McDonald's at different times, but not at the same time. They made it at the same time, and that same year won a state championship, which holds weight, right? And and went to big time colleges.
Yep.
So that's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. Salute to my guy, Ayatollah Beast, the builder, #1 basketball head out there. I gotta do some promotion real quick. I'll be right back. Stay right there.
Copy that.
All right. This is the new hands-free camera. All right, AI Xbox Go. Y'all need to check it out. This is one of the top products on the market right now. It's a camera that you don't need to hold. The only thing you need to do is hook up your iPad or iPhone, preferably your iPhone, to the top of this, and it records by itself once you put it on the tripod. So this is some new technology I'm introducing to the world. Hopefully, a lot of these schools and programs get hip to what's going on, because this is the new wave, baby. Xbox Go. The new camera for catching all your sports and live action in real time. And it also can create its own highlights. And if you just want to focus on one player, just type in a number and it'll follow that one player. All right, here you go. All right, if you type in basketball heads, you get 10% off. And there's no monthly installments. It's a one-time course, and it's a good bang for your buck. Pause. Yeah, we back. All right, Jay, look, we talked about that 52-point game, right? Then you had a 42-point game against Bay Shore. And in that a 3-game stretch, you averaged 31 points and 26 rebounds. How much overall did you average in high school?
So somebody sent me something on Facebook. There was somebody, I guess, not Tristan Smith, that went to Amityville. I think Tristan went to St. John's. Somebody else they started something that was similar to what you're doing.
So Long Island basketball history. Yes.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah.
So I think it was, I don't know if it was my junior year, my senior year, I averaged 35 points a game.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was like only a few people averaged over 30 in a whole season. And so I don't know if it was my junior, senior year. So one year I think it was like 29 point something. I think it was my junior year. Like sophomore year I was like at 25. Junior year I was like at 29. And senior year I was like 35.
Man, what was like it during like your recruiting process? Who are some of the schools coming to visit you now that you got a chance to see your brother get visited by all these schools? Who are some of the schools that came to visit you? And why did you choose St. Bonaventure?
Well, I'm going to tell you the story behind St. Bonaventure. So St. John's, UConn, but St. John's, Ron Rutledge, I remember they came and watched me because I was skinny too. So I was tall, but I was real thin. So I remember Ron Rutledge and Conaseca, I sat down with them and they was like, we want you to go to a prep school. And I think that's when prep school just started coming on the scene, like MIT and stuff like that, and Maine Central. And I was like, nah, I don't want to go to prep school. I want to ball right away.
Right.
And then UConn, I was going to sign with UConn, but I was messing up in school. I was doing enough, just fooling around just to be able to play whenever. And I remember Calhoun called. He was like, listen, we're not going to be able to take you because you're on the fence. So then I told my dad there was some other schools in Cincinnati. I was like, nah, I don't want to go to Cincinnati. Had I known, they had Nick Van Exel. And stuff like
whoa, you'd have been popping, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, had I known and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll just go to any school. So I went to go visit some schools, and I would mention him about my middle brother. Now he was making noise on the Midwest, but he wanted to come back to the East Coast. So they were like, no, we want you, we want him. I was like, okay. So I remember I went to a visit to St. Bonaventure, and the point guard of his JUCO was there at the same time. And at the time, my brother was in the hospital. He had a blood clot in his leg. So the coach was like, what do you think? I said, well, I have a brother who plays basketball. They was like, really? I was like, yeah. So what are you trying to say? I'm like, well, it'd be nice to play with my brother. They said, well, if we give him a scholarship, would you come? I'm like, you give him a scholarship, I'll come there. And my brother was in the hospital. So I called my brother. I said, and he's never played for them. So he got a scholarship. He never played.
Wow.
Yeah, it was more so too because my parents didn't have to pay for my brother Derek because he went to Syracuse.
Right.
They wasn't gonna have to pay for me. They didn't know. People didn't know about Chris on the East Coast that well.
So you got your brother a scholarship.
Yeah,
That's a power move, man.
yeah.
That's
So
a power move, Jay. That's a power move. Most people don't have the juice to do that, or in that situation. Like you have to be, you know, a very special player to get that done.
yeah. Well, and what it was, yeah, I think I was also because at the time my parents they were upset because they was in Hawaii. So my father found out, and even my older brother, I was like, well, you know, he wants to play ball. College costs a lot. He couldn't play because he ended up having a blood clots in his calf. So he, medically he couldn't play.
Got you.
But I'm like, you guys don't have to pay for
Mm,
him to go to school. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a free scholarship, free ride and stuff of that nature. So, when I tell people that, they was like, would you do that again? I'm like, yeah, that's my brother.
that's
My
right.
parents. So, things happen for a reason. I had my ups and downs in St. Bonnie's and stuff like that. My sophomore year, I was averaging 16, almost 17. I was getting some looks and then, make a dumb decision when I was young, you know what I'm saying, and not being wise. But if I was in the same situation, I would do it again. Now, if my brother wasn't involved, I'd have probably went to a prep school or took a different route. Didn't go to St. Bonnie's.
Got you. Did you play in the Wheelchair Classic or Empire State Games?
Yeah, I played Wheelchair Classic, and it was me and Kenny Smith's brother was a coach, Vince.
Yes, Vince. Yes.
Yeah, Vince was a coach, and so it was me, Kenny, who else was on the team? I think Conrad was on the team. Who else? It was broken up because I remember. I don't know if you remember. Kenny got hurt.
Yes. At a Talaton game.
No. Kenny got hurt in wheelchair. He got undercut, and Bobby Kremis came running out the stands. That's why Kenny never played in the wheelchair class. I mean, that would.
But I thought he got hurt in the Talaton game with Red Autry, and that's why he couldn't play.
Oh no, and Red was playing. No, that was Wheelchair Classic because it was at Long Island University.
Okay, that maybe was I don't know if it was the McDonald's All-American game, but I remember
because Kenny didn't play because he ended up twisting his ankle. He sprained his ankle bad, and Bobby Crimmins. This was at Long Island University. Bobby Crimmins came right on Flappers, came running out the stands. It was like, oh, what's going on? Yes.
Wow.
I remember Chiv's mom. She came out. She was concerned and stuff like that, and then. He didn't play in the if I'm not mistaken, he didn't play in the McDonald's game because of that injury.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot. Red was playing Orchard.
Yeah.
Jamal Ashburn. Can't
That's
forget about Mash, Monster Mash.
And he didn't even make McDonald's All-American.
Yo, he was
crazy. And he was the player of the year of New York and didn't make McDonald's All-American.
Yeah.
I got to get him on the show to find that out. I don't know if he didn't attend 5-star, because I know back then if you didn't attend 5-star, because Ross Strickland told me that he didn't attend 5-star, so he didn't get the nod for the McDonald's All-American game.
Yeah, I forgot
politics.
I forgot about 5-star with Art Garfunkel. What's his name?
Garfunkel. Yep. My guy Ron McCants, he played for Powell Memorial. He said, I played against your brother Derek in the tiny Archibald tournament in the South Bronx. And the Mitchell Projects.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah. Look, so much talent back then, bro. And kids don't realize now all the players are teaming up to play with each other. And back then we wanted to play against the smoke, right? We didn't want to play with the smoke. We wanted to play against the smoke.
Exactly.
Because if the smoke get looked at, they're going to look at us too.
Exactly. And I remember too, so as I started with Elmcore, and then that led me to Madison Broncos with Doc Nocelli.
That's a fact. I played there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, met a lot of guys there. And then you had Gauchos.
Yeah. Right? He said, I remember your brother playing for the Gauchos.
Yeah. Gauchos. And then you also had, give me 1 second. I'm moving into this house and the gentleman's doing my floors. So
all right. Riverside Church.
Riverside, and I've never played with the church with Because Gauchos had Lou. Lou was
Yep,
the
yep,
owner.
yep, yep.
Yeah, Lou was the owner of Gauchos, and then I forgot the guy's name for the church, but I never played with the church.
Ernie Lloyd. Ernie
Ernie
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Yup,
Yep,
Ernie Lloyd.
yep.
Ernie
Wow,
Lloyd.
that's crazy, man. That is crazy. So, you got the St. Bonaventures, and like you say, your transition in the beginning was cool, and then you ran into some bumps in the road there. Um, the How was life off the court? Because I
Uh,
think kids need to hear some of these. You know, you don't got to go too deep into the stories, but life. You know, you're away from home. Um, you're in a university. You get to live life. How you living it? What was life like off the court for you?
I think what it was, excuse me if there's background noises.
Oh,
I
it's all
think,
good.
looking back now, and for these young kids, it's because it's a maturity thing. Because when you're in college, what I'm saying, nobody's waking you up to go to class. What I'm saying, you're
That's
not
a
having
fact.
mom or dad, hey, get up, go to school and stuff like that. So you got to be mature. And if you don't have that understanding, if you don't have that foundation of your purpose of being there, especially when you're getting a free ride, everything's paid for. All you gotta do is just go to class, get your education, and there's a possibility, even though the percentage is low to make it a league, but if you put that time of work in, you could get there. You could get there. And I think sometimes these kids, at least today, I think the problem, G, and this is my opinion, like we didn't have cell phones back then.
It was a lot more distractions. I think it would have been crazy if we would have had those distractions. A lot of us would probably be in some real big trouble if we had those damn cell phones. Too many
Exactly. Cell,
distractions.
cell phones, computers, but and as you know, everybody was in the park from sun up to sundown. Once you stop balling there, come on, we're going to the next park, to go play. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see, those kids hitting the parks like that and wanted to go out there and play because of the distractions or, whatever's going on in today's society. And to me, it's not healthy. I'm seeing a lot of stuff, what I'm saying, that these youths go through, these young kids go through, or the things they get into is not productive, especially in the inner city. You know,
Yo, bro, it's happening all over, especially now with the NIL deals and the kids can get paid early.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Especially if
absolutely
nobody,
crazy.
especially if nobody's never taught you how to handle your money. If nobody's never implemented. If you don't see that growing up and you don't know it, then all of a sudden I'm saying you got money thrown at you. You go from maybe not having none to like, oh wow, now I got abundance. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, now I'm gonna go out there and just, buy everybody and ball out and stuff like that, rather than be smart about, your finances and thinking about the future. Because I remember my brother said one time, and this is something that I share, like the ball doesn't bounce forever.
It's a
What,
fact.
what's gonna be your plan B? What's gonna be your plan C? Your plan D? You know what I'm saying? So, and I think, you know, that's something that you being in education, you being a ball player yourself, that we try to instill in the youth, because they're not doing that. At least we had a lot more guidance back when we was coming playing ball. You had a lot more guidance. Now, not so much. And I may be wrong, but I just don't see it as much.
There's way more handlers. There's way more people with their hand out, and way more people that feel like, you know, um, they need to be in control of what you're doing as a player, right? And it's not a lot of emphasis on the the person as a whole, right? The holistic person having the balance of school and being a ball player. Now there's a lot of exceptions to the rule, but at the end of the day, that because of the distractions and so many other things that they have to look forward to, um, that the opportunities are not there for a lot of kids. We came up at a time was a lot of ball players, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we were able to play in these pickup games and go to different parks, it's not like that. This is why the trainers now has stepped in, right? And you get a lot of kids. You see some guys play, even in the NBA. A lot of these guys play like robots. There's no creativity.
Yeah.
Like I can't even. Like, listen. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I watched high school. I watched college. it's so hard for me to watch the NBA games. It's because it's not the same.
It's not. It's not. I remember for me, and I'll get not for me, but in our era, after a game watching Mike play, you ran to the park.
Well, I need to try this. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, Mike had you, like I said, like how watching Pearl play got me into basketball. Mike had you, along with my dad and brother, but Mike had you running to the park hooping once you watched the game. And basketball was real big. At least to me, it was big back then. Basketball was big. Now it's like, it's hard to watch college because it's like, who's out there? It's hard to watch the pros because it's like, okay, it doesn't pull me in the way it used to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a different time, man. Different time. What was that moment when you realized that high school is not college? Like, when was that time you realized you was like, you know what? Damn, college is so much different from high school.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. So my first pickup game in college, right? So we were playing pickup. And this guy's name was Rob Williams. He was a 6'8" white boy, right? So Rob was coming down. We playing pickup, and he goes. I'm like, I'm about to catch him on the backboard. I was about to glass him. He jumped Glenn, and that dude kept going, and he went underneath the rim and banged it on me. I was like, oh, I've never seen a white boy jump like that. I'm like, oh, it's like that here. So I came back and I got him. I dunked on him, but it was more physical. It was more physical because, and as you know, everybody in college was All-American.
That's right.
Everybody in college was the man on their team, especially saying when you get to certain schools and stuff like that. So in the high school is a little bit different. You might have that team where you have, just like I said, Christ King had 5 of them on one team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when you was at Link, you had a bunch on your team that was getting it in and stuff like that. But
right.
For the most part, when you went to college, it was like everybody was the man on the team in high school. So yeah, so it's, to me, that was an eye opener when that dude dunked on me like that, because I never got dunked on in high school.
And you played in a tough conference like Atlantic 10. I tell kids, right? You have no idea the kind of competition that's out there. Because some kids now, if you're not part of the top 200, 150. A lot of those Atlantic 10 schools, or even the smallest universities, are not even looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the transfer portal, right? They're getting a lot of players out of the transfer portal. We didn't have to deal with that back then. And
Exactly.
if we transferred, we had to sit out a year.
Yep.
So we had a lot working against us. And now, bro, if you have decent grades, you don't even take the SAT. The SAT don't even hold the same way it did back in the day. It's crazy, right? And they're getting paid? Yo, fam.
Exactly.
Wrong era. But if we had these and this computer, life would have been different from us. So,
no, of course.
It's good, but these kids have a lot of obstacles that's in their way that prevent them from being great.
No, of course.
If they're not careful.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right about that. And I just think, I'm saying, a lot of the youth today, they need that guidance.
Yes.
They and you see that more in the pros when you work, I'm saying that guidance they don't get at home, they get at the school, they get it with the teachers and the counselors, from somebody who, like, listen, I may not be related to you, but I still care about you.
Right.
And then after a while they recognize it, because I'm sure a lot of them don't come back and like, hey, Mr. Harden, I appreciate, what you did, and you was tough on me, stuff like that. But now I see why you were the way you were and
That's
stuff like that. Yeah, I had a young kid that when I was working law enforcement, I told him, like, listen, I might end up locking you up. I'm like, you need to stop. You're a juvenile. And he wouldn't listen. I would speak to the mom, and sure enough, he ended up getting locked up. I went down and I had to speak to him. He's like, can you get me out? I was like, I can't get you out. How many times can I warn you? All right. Fast forward, I see 2 years later, me and my partner, we were going somewhere. She had a case she was doing. And the kid comes up to me and he was like, do you remember me? I was like, no. Now, I remember my dad and my brother, Chris, who's in law enforcement, and my dad's retired NYPD detective. They would tell me, they'll remember you before you remember them because you deal with so many people.
Yeah.
Right? So when he came up to me, I'm like, no. He was like, it's me. And the kid looked familiar. He's like, it's me, Bernadette. And this was the same kid I told him, stop, you're going to get it. 2 years later, he's like, I just want to thank you. He's like, from me, going to jail and doing 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I came back out. I'm doing better. I'm in the GED program, and then the teacher like, the kid. I was like, yeah. I said he was one of the kids that was on that I was dealing with. He's like my top student.
Mm.
So it's definitely important to have those role models and those individuals, such as yourself, in these kids' lives and speaking to them and just taking that time to show that you care and that's what it is. Kids want to know that, hey, does this person really care about me, or is it just a paycheck? And I would see that, and you see that probably at Martin Porter's.
Yeah.
I'm not here for a paycheck. I'm here because I do care about you. You know what I'm saying? I want you to become something of yourself and have a future. And then as once they trust you, they'll do anything, and when they mess up, they feel like they're disappointing you for messing up. So
the relationship is definitely key.
Exactly.
Relationship is definitely key, man. After you finished playing at St. Bonaventure, what was your transition like into the real world? Like, we just talked about that ball is gonna start bouncing, right?
Yeah. So when I was done, my bad, I mean to cut you off. Yeah. So when I got done, I played over in South America. I was playing over there, and then had a good time over there. And then after that, I went to Greece, had a good time playing in Greece. But I left early. I ended up stopped playing, which was dumb on my part. I was had a girlfriend at the time who ended up becoming my wife. But now she's my ex-wife. But it was almost like I stopped playing ball just to go back to the States to be with her and stuff like that. But that transition into the real world was different because growing up, all I knew was basketball. That's all I did. It wasn't until I was maybe like 25, maybe when I got my first job, a 9 to 5, where as a ball player, you get up, your 9 to 5 is going to the gym and working on your game and working out and stuff like that. And then, you go play the game for 2 hours. That was my 9 to 5. And so getting into the real world, it was like, wow, it's different, and but it's been good. I have ups and downs and life experience and stuff like that. And, I met good people like you, that I had a chance to work with for so many years and stuff like that. So, I learned a lot from you and just, being around positive people, just helps and stuff like that. So it was, I wouldn't say it was a rough transition. It was just something new, a new chapter in my life and stuff like that.
Yeah. Us ball players, speaking to a lot of guys doing this podcast, you hear that, right? It's very few of us that have a seamless transition back into the real world because, we set our whole life to play basketball. And we just on a different schedule than everybody else. And then once that stopped, we got to kind of figure it out because what's your resume? I've been playing ball all these years, and there's no experience to come with that, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, I'm so glad, brother, that right now, you're at a stage of your life where it was gratifying when you was at Martin Porras, and now you're still helping people, man. And I know everybody down there appreciate you. We did during our time. We had a lot of great battles with those basketball games that we had, which was a lot of fun and kept us united. And over these years, man, if you could do one thing over in your basketball career, what would it be and why?
If I do one thing over, I think when I got to college, stay more focused on my craft. Just like when you asked earlier, what was the hiccups in the school, and if I would have stayed more focused on the game of basketball, I think I could have took it further and been more mature. Because I was definitely immature in those areas and stuff like that. So if I could just go back and just, but I look at it like this too, like if I change things, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So maybe I wouldn't change nothing because I wouldn't have my wife. I want to have my 6 kids, my 5 girls, and my little son. Stuff like that, and the career I'm working in. So, things happen for a reason. I thank God for that. Things happen for a reason. So, I would say I am blessed. But if I could change anything and keep what I have now, it would be just my maturity in college and how to handle things.
Yeah, bro, because I never thought I'd been doing this. Like for me to be doing this right now for 5 years, outside of what I do with my day job, if you'd have told me that I've been doing this back then, I would have looked at you crazy. Nobody's gonna be sitting around talking about basketball. But these things happen for a reason. And it gives us a chance to reconnect, right? And talk and build. So at the end of the day, all this is all worth it, because if you took a different path, we probably won't be here right now. If I took a different path, we wouldn't be here chopping it up right now.
Exactly. So and I definitely got to say this, like when I was watching something. I don't know if it was like it was something with Tracy McGrady was having in New York.
Yeah, the one-on-one. Yeah,
right. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and I see somebody in the background standing next to Tracy McGrady. I'm like, hold on, I know that person. It was just,
me and Tracy McGrady. We took the picture. Me and Tracy.
It was you. And then fast forward, I'm sitting there working, and then I'm looking at it was an interview with Chivs, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, hold on. I told my wife, I'm like, that's my man Glenn. I work with him. And that's when I hit you up. I was like, man. I was like, I had to shout you out, give you your props, and give you much respect. You know what I'm saying? Because when I watched the whole podcast and the whole interview, it was just the professionalism, just everything that, like you said, to reconnect and to reminisce. But just the format of your show was just amazing. And anybody who's out there listening right now, please support my man G. Glenn Poolhardy, you know what I'm saying? He's doing amazing things. Show him love. He's showing a lot of love to those, and thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come onto your show. So I just want to say thank you foremost. And yo, I see big things coming from you, bro. 5 years, you're doing big things. I see a lot of your stuff, a lot of people you interview and stuff like that. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate that, G.
Nah, man. With this podcast, and I have the high school podcast, because as you sent me articles, Jay, they don't write about the kids in the paper no more. That's up to guys like myself and a few other guys that have platforms on Instagram, and we kind of promote the kids there. We create the all city list. I evaluate kids. I'm on the top 100 committee for the NBPA, the NBA Players Association top 100 camp. So all those things that when guys like Tom Kachowski and Howard Garfinkel and those sports writers used to cover us, it's our job now to do it for the kids, because no one is doing it for them like that anymore.
Got you.
So it's a crazy dynamic, and just like you helping our kids in Monteporez, filling in that void, right? That young man that you had to, lock up, and then he came back to kind of let you know, like, yo, you helped me. Even in the decision that you didn't want to make, you still helped me. So that's dope, man. That's dope. Look, let's have some fun right now. I'm going to let you get out of here. Let's get into the top 5, and we're going to have some fun. We get you out of here so you go fix up your brand new house, man. I'm so proud of you, brother. All right?
Go ahead.
No doubt.
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. The top 5 guys that Jay Brower played with.
Top 5 I played with.
Yeah.
Kenny Anderson. Wow. Jamal Mashburn, Conrad McRae, D.
That's
Phelps.
3. That's 4. That's 4. One more, baby.
See, because that class, because I could say Jamal Faulkner, I could say Carl Beckett.
You can't bring nobody off the bench. You gotta get.
I know. I would say Khalid. I don't know if I said it. Khalid Reeves. I never seen a dude who was just, the way Khalid played was just effortless. It was just smooth.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That's a dope 5. That's a dope 5. All right. Top 5 guys you played against.
Mark Macon.
Hold on. Because I don't think people remember how tough Mark Macon was. He was a walking bucket. And listen, he never took a shot he didn't like. So you was damn if you do, damn if you don't.
And people don't realize Mark is the one that put Temple on the map.
That's a fact.
Because he could have went to a big school, but he went to, and Temple. Not that Temple wasn't a big school, but he went and John Chaney, man, he must be a hell of a coach. He put Temple on the map. Him and big man in the middle. I forgot his name in the middle. But Mark, yeah, he put them on the map. So I'm gonna say Mark Macon, and then we went down and played Georgia Tech. So they had Travis Best, John Berry, Malcolm. What was Malcolm's name? Malcolm Mackey.
Malcolm Mackey, that's a fact. Yep.
Geiger, Matt Geiger. Was that was
Matt
I would
Geiger.
say that whole James Forrest.
So you only get 5. So you're gonna say Mark Macon, who from Georgia Tech?
Travis Best.
Travis
James
Best.
Forrest.
James Forrest. 2 more.
David Kane.
David Kane. Whoa, Big Daddy Kane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Steve
D.
Kane.
Yep. He was a problem. Who else? Man. Wow, that's a tough one, G. Cause I know I'm gonna forget somebody.
Everybody always does. It's okay, but you only got 1 more.
You know, it was a tough one. Did I play with him? But also, did I play? I would say Chief Akins. Chief.
Yo, he's a guy. Teef is still playing 50 and over. It's crazy. He's a lifer.
Teef was a problem.
He's a lifer for sure.
He's
gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
He's gonna appreciate that.
Yeah. Shout out to Chief.
No doubt. Andrew Jackson, you know what I'm saying? For sure. And last but not least, top 5 players in Long Island history. From your perspective.
From my perspective,
Yep.
Bobby Brown. Andre Samuels. Kyle Larry Jones. Myself. Tough. Including myself or exclude myself?
Exclude yourself. We here celebrating you tonight.
Kenny Woods.
Kenny Woods, yep.
Kenny Woods. And I want to say this kid, Chris Rooney. He was a white boy, Chris Rooney from Smithtown. I think Chris went to Smithtown East or West. Like, man, we had battles. And that's when Tom Chikowski used to come out and watch us play. Man, had battles going back and forth. But I know I'm forgetting somebody.
No, it's all good. We everybody listen. Nobody 5 is never the same, right? No matter how many people, how many times I ask this. One last thing, man. Right when Tom Chikowski shook your hand, right? You knew you had to look him in the eyes, and he wouldn't let go of your hand until he finished talking to you.
Oh, never. That was a death grip.
Yeah,
that was a death grip. And Tom Chikowski was a tall man too.
Yep.
Sure. He was a tall man with the black hair slicked to the side and came over but was a nice gentleman too. But like I said, he shook your hand. He held it. He held your hand until you got finished saying what you got to say and then went about his way. But yeah, Tom Chikowski was definitely he was the czar, the basketball czar back then.
That's a fact. He was doing it long before we even got around the ball scene. He was around since Kareem was in high school. So just imagine.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And you know what's real quick was one thing about Tom Chikowski. I remember this years ago. I'm living on Queens Boulevard, and I think he lived in Forest Hills. I was walking down. I was like, Mr. Chikowski, turned around. He knew everybody's name.
That's a fact.
He knew if he saw you, he knew your first and last name. It wasn't just like he had a wait and think.
What year you played? What college you went to?
He knew everything about you. He knew everything. He knew everything. He didn't forget a name. He did not forget a name.
And in the world of technology, before he passed, he was still using the typewriter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yo, Jay, man, it was a pleasure having you on, man. Um, let's not be strangers. We got, the numbers or whatever. Let's stay in contact, man. I just want to say thank you. We all would like to say thank you for giving us these memories and entertainment throughout your years of playing basketball on the island and in New York City, man. You definitely one of New York's greatest players, man. Good luck with everything, what you're doing. Say hi to everybody in your family and salute, man. Love you, brother.
Same here, G. Love you too. And I just want to say thank you for you, brother, and thank those who came before us.
That's a
Paved
fact.
the way, you know what I'm saying? So hats off to them and stuff like that, and just everybody in the middle. So thank you, my man. Thank you so much for this platform, brother. I appreciate you. Love you too, bro.
No doubt. Jay Brower, everybody. Jay Brower in the building. Peace, Bree. Wow. Look, it's so great to reunite with your brothers, right? And celebrate them. We only get one life. We get one life to live. We want to live it to the fullest. Jay coming up, he has some big shoes to step in with his brother playing big time basketball. Of course, his dad before that playing in Brooklyn. He had a middle brother as well, and him coming along and doing this thing and standing out and being a great in his own right. We all know that life comes like a roller coaster. I don't care who you are. You're going to experience some ups. You're going to experience some downs. But you got to stay on the wheel and keep that steady path. And right now, man, he's in cruise control right now. He got control of his life, doing great things, being a sheriff, still helping people. And look, we all professionals. It's just that the ball stopped dribbling and we picked up the rock somewhere else. Salute to my guy, Jay Brower. Love you, brother. Keep doing great things. To the basketball heads out there, please subscribe, share, like, comment, and let's get this out there, man. Let's keep celebrating our greats and our legends, and let's keep this going. You heard? Glenpool Harding, Basketball Heads, the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.